In 2019, a security camera at a hospital in Argentina caught something strange. In the middle of the night, the automatic doors opened, but no one was there. Then the security guard stood up and started talking to someone invisible. He took out a clipboard. He wrote down a name. He gestured as if giving directions. A few minutes later, news outlets confirmed the name he wrote belonged to a woman who had died the day before. The footage went viral. Millions watched. Some called it fake. Others were shocked. But for Catholics, it raised an old question. Do we actually believe in ghosts, spirits, angels, demons? Is that just Hollywood nonsense? Or is there more to this invisible world than we want to admit? We live in a modern world. We've got science, technology, psychology. But when things go bump in the night, when people hear whispers, feel a presence, or dream of a loved one who's passed, it makes us wonder, am I crazy? Or is something real going on here? Most people are curious about the supernatural. Even non-religious folks watch ghost hunting shows or read about exorcisms. But many assume the church either bans all of that or believes in none of it. Here's the twist. The Catholic Church absolutely believes in the spiritual realm. Let's break it down. Angels, totally real. They're mentioned all over Scripture, from Genesis to Revelation. They're messengers, warriors, protectors. Saint Michael isn't just a statue. He's a real archangel. Demons, also real. They're fallen angels who rejected God. Jesus didn't treat demons as metaphors. He literally cast them out. Ghosts, well, this one's more complex. The church doesn't teach that ghosts float around in bed sheets. But it does acknowledge that sometimes souls in purgatory may be permitted by God to appear, usually to ask for prayers or warn the living. This is not superstition. This is part of the mystery of God's mercy and justice. But, and this is huge, just because something feels spiritual doesn't mean it's good. St. Paul warned that even Satan can appear as an angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14. So not every presence or voice is from God. Therefore, Catholics are called to discern. We don't chase ghosts. We don't use Ouija boards or visit mediums. That's actually spiritually dangerous and forbidden by the church. Why? Because when we open doors to unknown spirits, we may not be welcoming what we think we are. You've probably heard of Father Gabriele Amorth, the Vatican's chief exorcist for decades. He performed over 70,000 exorcisms. He wasn't some crazy priest obsessed with demons. He was a faithful, rational man, and he knew the devil exists and he is active. But he also knew this truth. The devil trembles in the face of Christ. And even the smallest sacramental, like holy water or the sign of the cross, has great power when used with faith. So why does the church talk about angels and demons at all? Isn't that stuff just meant to scare people? Not at all. The church teaches us about the spiritual world not to frighten us, but to equip us. Because the real battle isn't just political or emotional or psychological, it's spiritual. St. Paul says, we are not fighting flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. Ephesians 6 verse 12. Therefore, we're called to be aware, not obsessed, not paranoid, but aware, and to stay close to Christ through the sacraments, through prayer, through grace. So yeah, Catholics believe in angels. We believe in demons. We even acknowledge that sometimes souls from purgatory may appear, but we don't base our faith on feelings, fears, or ghost stories. We base it on Christ, who conquered sin and death. Therefore, we walk with confidence. We're not afraid of the dark, because the light of the world walks with us. And that's not fantasy, that's faith.